Tuesday, the 4th day of June. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. I am Bosin Omofaye here in Lagos. Of course, the market started off on a back foot of about 0.2% on Monday on the Nigerian market, still below the 99,000. We saw sell-off in the banking, industrial, and consumer goods space. Insurance stocks made some positive gains, as it were. Veritas Capital, ICO Insurance, Regis Alliance Insurance, and a few others, including Owando, a non-insurance name, on the release of its latest earnings. But the market was actually hawkish. The market shares fell broadly around Nigerian breweries, Lafarge Africa in the cement production segment, the breweries, and a few other names. So broadly speaking, we just saw the market by the dust as the labor unions continue their industrial action. As at this morning, about 32 unions, different unions across the various sectors, education, aviation, road, petroleum, oil and gas, whatever, were all behind including the banking sector. Folks were behind the NLC strike asking for a higher, much stronger, higher minimum wage. Negotiations continued well into the night, however, whereas at this morning, the national strike is still in place. The BRVM was roughly flattish, was down just 4 basis points on Monday. That's on the composite. The Egyptian stock market remained in the red on Monday, 0.13%, started Sunday about 0.2%, also negative. The Nairobi stock market fell sharply yesterday. The shares of Centum went down, as well as other names on the counter, including the NSE itself, down roughly 6%. But we saw a very decent trading day, with most trading activities concentrated in the shares of Absa, Safaricom, and KCB. You've got all of that to digest as we start the second trading day. Monday was very heavy to the upside for the South African stock market. The GSE went up 1.36%. The Rand also went up on the dollar about 1.47% the morning after the general elections that saw democracy at play in South Africa. So the elections are over. Talks about alliances are still on. But what will happen next is something that international organizations and investors and rating agencies are considering, looking at the comments out of Moody's ratings yesterday. Let's just take the market down and move on quickly to check in with East Africa. Kenya's Statistics Office is under fire for the data that it pushed out on inflation. Folks says the Statistics Office is provided wrong power or electricity bills in the data for inflation that has been presented. We'll try to see how it's been corrected. The central bank is looking to raise about 30 billion shillings or 60 billion shillings from the reopened bond auctions, while Rwanda is looking to adopt a digital currency, what you call the CBDC, over the next 2 years. An Indian bank has raised its stake in Kenya as it opens a Nairobi office. That's a very big handshake across the Indian subcontinent into East Africa's biggest economy. An Indian's Adani Ports, which is a multi-billion business entity in India by a multi-billionaire, signed a 30-year deal with the Tanzanian authorities to provide some support for the second container terminal in Dar es Salaam. That's the new deal on the table there between Tanzania and India on the other hand. Let's step into the West Africa. As I said earlier, labor unions still, they're not backing down yet from their demands for about 400,000 plus naira as a new minimum wage. The government says is likely going to continue negotiations. Overnight, we saw a statement from the labor union saying that Mr. President Tinubu himself, says he's inclined to take the 60,000 naira offer that the government has on the table further. What that figure will be led to the tripartite committee to work out with the labor unions. That's where we are as at this morning. In the meantime, the NDIC, that the Deposit Insurance Corporation, has affirmed the closure and liquidation of Heritage Bank, which was shut down via a statement issued early on Monday. by the Central Bank of Nigeria. OPEC says the 2.2 million barrels per day voluntary cutback will be in place until October. Then, of course, at the end of the third quarter, then begin to be removed gradually or phased out over the next 12 months. In the meantime, OPEC has extended Nigeria's production quota 1.5 million barrels per day into 2025, while Ghanaians will have to pay more for power and water effective July the 1st. They got 1 month or thereabout to prepare for about 3.45% hike in electricity tariffs, an additional 5.15% higher on water supply. Those are the headlines west of the continent. Let's go quickly to Southern Africa. Rand up 1.47, roughly 1.5 on the dollar the morning after the general elections. And the former Reserve Bank governor, Kuben Naidu, has joined Investec, one of the biggest investment banking group in South Africa. And mining investment in Zambia was reported around $10 billion last year, while Mark Holzman has been appointed onto the board of Mutapa Investment Fund of Zimbabwe. Congratulations to him. Let's go to northern part of the continent where domestic liquidity, according to the Central Bank of Egypt, is about 10.1 trillion local currency at the end of the month of April, while the World Bank has highlighted plans to improve the governance structures around state-owned enterprises in Egypt. And Dubai-based car renter OneClickDrive is planning to drive into Morocco as part of its expansion out of the Middle East. And finally, Tunisia and Turkey are planning their first business forum. More than 300 delegates, exhibitors, and others are expected to attend the event. The business forum will be taking place this week on the 5th of June, or effectively, that'll be tomorrow, Wednesday. Keep an eye on that. All of that in the news today as we bring you our Frontier Opening Bell. Have a great day, everyone, and bye for now.